Okay, today I'm going to talk to you about standard form. I'm going to say why we use standard form and how to use standard form to show really big numbers and really small numbers. Okay, so first of all, standard form is just used as a kind of shorthand way of writing either very, very big numbers or extremely small numbers. And in science, we come across these kind of numbers quite a lot. So let's imagine, first of all, we're looking at a very big number. So for example, let's imagine we're looking at the distance from Earth to the Sun. Now this distance in meters is this here, 149,600,000,000. So that is how far in meters it is from Earth to the Sun. Now, often when we're dealing with space, for example, we're dealing with extremely large numbers because space is enormously, well, things in space are very, very far away from us. So, the reason why I'd want to write standard form is if all the time I've got to write out long numbers like this, it's more difficult to read and it takes a long time. It's time consuming. So we use something called standard form. Now, standard form always has the same pattern. We always have something, point something, something, times 10 to the something. Now that might not make too much sense now, but hopefully it will do in a minute. So we look at this number. The bits that we're interested in is the information at the beginning of the number. So if it's something, point something, something, I know I'm going to be looking at the first three digits. So 1, 4, and 9. So they're going to go here in a minute. However, we need to round this number as well. Because 6 is above 5, this 9 is going to round up rather than down. So instead, this is going to be 1.50 times 10 to the something, because I'm just looking at the start of this number here. Now, to figure out what number goes here, I need to think how far this decimal point moves. So let's imagine it starts off there, just as it would do for this number here. It's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 places, because it's gone all the way from here until the end right here. So the answer is 1.50 times 10 to the 11 meters, because that's how far I've moved the decimal point. So that's how we use standard form to look up very big numbers. Let's imagine we were looking at an extremely small number instead, because we can also use standard form for small numbers. So let's imagine this time it was the size of a virus. So in biology, we might be looking at the size of a virus. Now let's say this virus was this many meters big. 0.023456 meters. Again, the reason why we want to show it in standard form is because if we're dealing with viruses or bacteria, instead of having to write out these long strings of zeros every time, we could just write it kind of shorthand way by showing it as standard form. So again, it saves time and it's actually easier to read once we get used to standard form. So we've got the same kind of format this time. We have something, point something, something, times 10 to the something. Now, because it's a tiny number, the big difference is we're going to have a minus number here, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So this time, rather than starting right over here, because all of these numbers are zeros, what we do is we start here and we move this way until we find our first non-zero number, which is this one here. So this is going to be my start right here. The three digits I'm going to include is going to be this one, and this one. So in this case, so I'll go all the way here. My first digit is 1.25 times 10 to the something. Now, again, let's put in where our decimal point would be. And now we need to move it. Now, instead of moving this way, the decimal point is going to go this way. And that's why we have a minus power here. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this one is 1.25 times 10 to the minus 7. So just to recap, standard form is just a way of showing either very big or very small numbers in a shorthand way. We always have the same format of something point something something times 10 to the something. If it's a very big number, this power is going to be positive, and it's going to be just the number of times the decimal place moves. If it's a very small number, this number is going to be negative, and it's going to be the number of times the decimal place moves. That's how to do standard form. Thank you.